Hi there, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of HR Talks with Khala. And here I am. So, if you guys have gotten a chance to see my last video, which was primarily based on some shocking statistics of how AI is impacting some current jobs and how AI is impacting the future of job market as well, this video is in kind of continuation of that video. In this video, we HR folks and the other will also learn how to stay relevant to the ever-changing times. In these times where we feel, well, robots are already taking over the world. If it's not entirely true, it's somehow coming to see the light of the day. So there are two things that HR people should now be really good at. That is at least making some strategies about upskilling and reskilling our employees. And in whichever role we are working, in whatever company in HR department, we should be very mindful of the coming changes and how our people can stay relevant by upskilling and reskilling themselves, and how we can actually create those plans or trainings in order to make sure that nobody left behind. So, what are we waiting for? Let's get into it. Tip number 1: identify the skills gap. So, in whichever company you're working at, if you have no idea where your current skills are and what the future that a company is headed at is, you will not be able to identify that gap. So first you need to be very clear on where the company is headed, and then you can definitely work on the skills gap and see that the current employees lack what kind of skills and how can you help them to work on those skills as well and get there, which is the future and it is aligned with the future of the company as well. For example, at a certain corporation, they realize that a lot of their data entry work is going to be automated with AI. Well, that means a lot of the current staff or employees will not be needed. But then they shifted their focus. They realized that in order to get to that future where all sort of data entry work will be automated by AI, they need certain human validators or certain teams which will be analyzing the data that is being produced by the AI automation. So for that, they try to create some plans which will enable their people to get reskill and upskill in automation and learn how to use these tools that AI will produce for them. So that's how, boom, skills gap identified. When you understand what your gaps are, you will be able to create a much better strategic plan for your employees. It's like having a roadmap. Employees know what skills to work on, and HR know what are the kind of trainings that they're going to be offering to the employees. Tip number 2. And as HR person, I cannot put enough emphasis on this. Create a culture of learning. Please, you cannot just throw any sort of online course to employees or send them an email saying you have to complete this course, and boom, the next day they are experts on AI or they're experts on finding solutions. No, it has to be a constant reminder, a constant part of your culture. And that's how employees also gets motivated, and they feel that yes, companies actually are concerned for our learning and our growth. For example, the current company that I'm working with as a senior HR business partner, we've started an initiative which is a bi-weekly initiative. That means on 2 Fridays in a month, we have a collaborative learning session by the name of Let's Talk, where all the employees are divided into teams depending on their department, and they get a chance to actually present on the latest happenings in automation, in AI, in digital marketing. Those happenings are not going to be communicated one way. That those teams are not the only people that are going to learn on benefit from them, but in fact the entire company sit in those sessions, and while they're presenting, we have open discussions on how these specific updates or AI solutions can benefit our work processes, and how we all in a collaborative environment as a team can make our business processes more effective. So that's how everybody is geared up for those those sessions, everybody know that they have to read, research about the new happenings, because in the current times it's not a responsibility of 2 or 3 senior leaders in the company to be updated and then that knowledge is being passed on. Everybody is going to unlearn a lot of things that they have done in the past and then learn the new gimmicks or the new ways of doing things and making their business more effective. So this was just an example of an initiative that I am looking forward in my current company. But if you as an HR person or any person in the company make sure that a culture of learning is present, that's a complete win-win, because employees really respect the fact that their growth is part of the culture, and it's not going to be an extra time on the weekend or on a specific day where they have to be with their family in order to learn new skills. So as Google is already allocating 20% of any employee's working time, they have given that 20% for them to learn any new skill and work on their personal projects. Let's make learning part of our culture, so it's a win-win for employees and for the company as well. Okay, this one is also one of my favorite, and I've talked about this in my previous videos as well. Do not think of AI as your enemy. Think of AI as your new best friend, your ally, something that is going to help you in making your processes more effective. And when you think like this, you get more time to plan a lot of initiatives for your workforce. So this one is particularly for the HR teams. At my company, as I've talked in a previous video as well, we have created an HR policy board by the name HR Buddy, which is going to help employees in answering their policy related questions, which are very mundane questions. What is my medical limit? What is my leave status? How many leaves are available during probation? So these are some questions which are the most repetitive questions, and now HR team is not going to be answering them. In fact, we have an HR bot which is up and running, and employees can get their answers instantly. That's a win on that side. And HR team is going to be more focused on working on some strategic plans where they can do more for the company instead of answering something which is repetitively being answered. So now if any HR person is on a sick leave, nobody is going to wait for any answer, and people are going to get all their answers from the HR bots. So by embracing AI, in short, you're going to be focusing more on upskilling and reskilling programs for your employees and for yourself as well. Tip number 4, offer targeted trainings. Hey guys, it's 2024. The same ancient way of giving everybody the same training link and telling them it's somehow related to them, it's not going to cut it anymore. In the past times, we are used to sending a leadership training to everyone thinking, oh, you're going to be future leaders. Nowadays, more personalized trainings are more important for employees in order to be ready for their future roles. For example, if you identify that a specific person is going to be promoted very soon to a management role, maybe that person is going to be dealing with a lot of data. So maybe you can say, hey Jane, maybe you can take this data analytic course, because this course is going to make you ready for your future management role as well. Instead of giving it to everyone, you have to focus your training modules on people, on teams where they know that they're going to be needing this particular training in order to be ready for a future that the company is headed. For example, AT&T has recently launched its Future Ready program, where their employees are being offered with a variety of training tracks based on where the company is headed. So it's not only about staying competitive with the changing times, but it's also helping employees to grow into their future roles in order to make the trainings more customized for them and not more generic. Personalized trainings also feel employees way more valued, and it reduces turnover as well. Again, a win-win. So for example, you're in HR and you're not being offered a related training which can help you in your future role. You're going to think and feel really demotivated that you're getting a training which might not is quite relevant with what your future looks like. So in order to, I'm just giving an HR example because I have more clarity over this, but in any department, if your trainings are more towards general side, it is not going to help employees and not going to make them valued anymore. So make sure your trainings or your reskill and upskill program is more customized to the needs of employees, and it is more aligned with the future the company is headed, and only then you will be able to target the right problem and solve it as well. Tip number 5, leadership buy-in. It is also a very important factor. So if you're in your current organization and in your current position planning all these programs, and your leadership is in a business as usual mode, trust me, it's not going to work. So you have to convince your leadership to invest in reskilling and upskilling of the employees. And yes, I'm talking money, because if you do not invest in this, you will be staying behind the curve, and there will be a time where your people and you yourself will not be relevant to the changing times. So if your leadership team is if your leadership is convinced, only then you will be able to be successful in this program. Take a current example of Salesforce, which is investing millions into upskilling program because their leadership knows it's the only way to stay competitive. So if they are, why can't you? And I just give an example in one of the tips that we are spending a lot of our working hours in this initiative, Let's Talk, which is a collaborative learning session where everybody is discussing the latest happenings, how it's going to affect our business, and in what ways these current solutions which are given in the world or which are available online is going to make our business more effective. So if we can do it, they can do it, why can't you do it? When leadership is on board, things happen, priorities shift, and everybody follows that path as well, and employees completely feel satisfied that yes, the company is not only interested in their future but is interested in employees development as well. So let's get at this line and take the leadership buy-in as well, if you have not by now. So there you have it, your roadmap for preparing your workforce for the future of work. Remember, it's all about identifying the skills gap, creating a culture of learning, offer targeted training, embrace AI as your ally, and ensure the leadership buy-in. So these are the 5 crucial tips that we just talked about in this video. The future of work is here, and whether we like it or not, it's going to change a lot. Let's be ready ourselves, and let's make our workforce ready for it as well. Until next time, stay active, stay innovative, stay curious, and more importantly, try to stay ahead of the curve. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on this video. And I always say that if you guys have any ideas, any good suggestions that what are the kind of topics you would like me to talk in my next video, please mention it in the comment section. Bye.